Hey, what's up, everybody? So, in this video, I want to kind of explain my thinking and my opinion on why gold is so expensive. And yes, I do think gold is expensive. I think gold currently is overvalued um, for where it should be at. And I'm going to kind of explain why I think gold is at these levels and where I think gold should be, um, and why I'm not buying and when I will continue to buy gold. So as we can see, gold right now is at around 1488 an ounce. Well, I don't think this chart is exactly accurate. I don't think this is exactly where it's at. I think this is a little bit behind because gold, I believe, is at 1458 currently. Um, but we're going to go back and forth between some charts and kind of look at how gold went up this high. And I think there's a couple of factors, and we're going to take a look at those factors right now. So I think the first thing that we're going to look at is the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. Now, a lot of people might say, or some people might say, that interest rates going up is a positive thing or is something that would actually push precious metals down because it's a sign of a stable economy or a positive outlook of our economy. But the problem here is that the stock market doesn't like the raising of interest rates. And if interest rates are risen too many times, a lot of people in the stock market like to get out of the stock market and they panic. They're in panic mode. People in the stock market hate when interest rates go up. Um, and especially on the last time that the interest rates went up, um, which was back in December. This was actually when I actually got into the stock market at this time because when the interest rates went up December of 2018, there was a massive sell off in stocks. And if we go back to the gold chart and if we look at December of 2018, this is where we really saw gold rise um, in December. If we look at December, um, it started to go up a little bit. It was right here in November, but in December, and then it continued to go up quite a bit into January. And then we had kind of a little level off, dropped a little bit here. This here was a really good, probably a really good buying opportunity right here in April of 2019. But then it just continued to inflate the gold price. Um, so why did this happen? So previously I said I think one of the reasons was because of the raising of interest rates. I think that was one thing because we had some sell-offs of the stock market. Stock market once again is at all-time highs. I think the other factor of gold being up so high was a couple of times with the bond yield curve inverted. And currently the bond yield curve has not inverted. When the bond yield curve sticks for a couple of weeks, which it has not done, that is typically a sign of a recession. Now, the bond yield curve has been wrong on some occasions, but typically the bond yield curve, when it inverts, it does typically predict a recession, but sometimes it is wrong. But the key factor with the bond yield curve is the bond yield curve inversion has not really stuck. It may have stayed inverted for a couple of days max, but then it kind of normals itself out. Um, so, um, so we had the raising of interest rates. We had the bond yield curve inverting. I believe it was um, when did the bond yield curve invert? I believe it was in August of 2019, which is partially why gold did this. Where's August? So it's right around here, August. Um, And then we have the trade war with China. Now, I don't mind the trade war with China. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to try to get China on a more level playing field. Now, do I think that's going to happen entirely? Probably not. China doesn't worry about their economy. They don't worry about their people. China, the heads of state of China, worries about their own Communist Party. They don't care really anything about the people of China. It's all about them. So I don't know if this trade war is ever going to really be 100% resolved. I have my doubts about that. But I think a lot of this has to do with the tariffs. Now, a little bit of evidence about this is a couple of days ago, um, there was a false report that Donald Trump and China agreed to roll back tariffs. And when that happened, gold was at 1506 an ounce. The moment that they said that the media reported that China agreed with the US to roll back tariffs, what happened? Boom. It went from 1506 to 1488. Now, that was a false report. And gold and silver, both gold and silver, both went down quite a bit. And gold and silver have not recovered from that. In fact, it took both precious metals took another dip after that. Gold is currently at, let me look it up on, gold is currently at 1458 and silver's at 1677. So neither one of these precious metals recovered from that. But what I think is going to happen, and this is when I will be back into buying gold. Right now, I'm not even buying too much silver. I think silver is a little bit too high right now for my liking. I think there's a lot of room for both gold and silver to dip. Now, keep in mind, once again, this is not advice. This is just what I'm doing. This is the way I'm thinking right now. Once the tariffs are actually rolled back, if there's actually a signing of the phase one, so-called phase one, which phase one, what's included in phase one is a lot of Chinese buying U.S. Agriculture products, um, and I think at that time, once they sign phase one, I think there's a somewhat of a chance of a small rollback in tariffs. Not all the tariffs are going to be rolled back. It's not going to all be just rolled back at once. But I think once the phase one deal is signed and there is a somewhat of a rollback, once Donald Trump announces he's going to roll back tariffs, once China starts buying a lot of our products, um, I think I think what we're going to see is a little bit more of this, where gold went from 1506 down to 1488, but I think we could see gold. It's not going to happen overnight. I don't think we're going to see gold from the $1,500 range go down to the 12 or $1,100 range overnight. But as long as there's no other economic events, negative events happening at the time, um, which is possible, it's possible. But I don't. But as long as there's no negative news about bond yield curves inverting and all this kind of stuff, once tariffs are rolled back, I think we're going to slowly see gold go back down and silver. I think silver is going to follow gold. Um, Silver might even be leading gold, on the way down, going down at a faster rate. And that's what I think we're going to see as soon as tariffs are rolled back. And if we get a couple more interest rate, um, quarter point lower interest rates from the Fed, I think we're going to see gold go back down over the next year, year and a half. Um, as long as President Trump wins the 2020 election and all this, I think if a socialist wins, I think all this is, you know, null and void. I think if a socialist, were to win, well, then we might see gold continue to rise above even these levels, possibly. But I think as long as Trump wins 2020 and interest rates, I mean, not interest rates, but if tariffs are rolled back and there's some kind of agreement with China, I think we could see gold go back down below $1,300 an ounce. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Definitely let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think gold is overvalued? Do you think gold is where it should be for what's going on right now in the economy? Are you buying? Are you holding? Are you selling? Are you just waiting for gold to dip a couple $100 before you start buying? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.